We're here with Ken Beatty at the TESOL event. Hi, Ken.
Hi. Hi, how are you, Natalie? Yeah, thank you.
Very good, thank you.
Yeah.
We want to ask you what are your thoughts on this edition of the TESOL event and how has it changed since the pandemic for you?
Right. Okay, so before the pandemic, I traveled a lot and going to a lot of conferences. In 2019, I was in 12 countries, 20 cities. I gave 60 talks, and I took 50 flights, if you can imagine. So it was all over the world, from Turkey to Thailand and everywhere in between. And then all of a sudden, COVID and nothing happening whatsoever. So it was a huge, big difference. So now to be back, you realize that what the difference is, because I've been to lots of virtual presentations, but nowhere where you could give a hug and nowhere where you could really, really feel that you could have those spontaneous conversations with people just because you're sitting next to them and having a coffee or something. When you're doing a Zoom presentation, I do webinars. I've done webinars for 12 people. I did 3 webinars for more than 4,000 people at a time. So, but there's no contact. It's just me sitting in my living room, sort of looking at the computer screen. So it's definitely really welcome to be back and meeting people again.
That's wonderful to hear. You were in a constant jet lag all the time.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, yeah. But
So it's good to pace things up again.
yes, yeah,
That's
definitely.
great. We also want to ask you about the importance of community that you find in this type of events and how you think this process of learning, say, other languages can help with topics like progress, inclusivity. How is it important in places like Latin America?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, I think it was laid out this morning when Yvonne was giving her introduction. She put up a little map and sort of showed all the countries where people were coming from. I'm Canadian, I'm from Canada, so, but people coming from, it looked like Indonesia and all over Latin America and such, so, and Europe, so that's fantastic. It's a meeting of minds. It's meeting people that maybe think a little bit differently than you. And that's so important because we get into silos where an echo chambers where all the people around us in our university departments think the same way we do or quite similar. So it's a great opportunity to do that. In terms of things like inclusivity, it's a very big and important issue. And it's really, sometimes some countries are a little bit ahead of other countries, but again, you're sharing that. And so then that's something that brings it forward. Universities have always been thought leaders. You know, it doesn't happen overnight, but new ideas percolate and they get excited and discussed and debated, and then it spreads out into the general population, partly because you're talking to your parents and you're talking to your grandparents who say, no, 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 but it spreads. So it's an important situation for that to happen, and a conference just drives that further along. Fortunately, I came yesterday morning at 4 o'clock in the morning. I was so tired, but I just slept for 2 hours, and then I got up and then I explored Bogota. So I went to the National Museum, Museo Nacional. Then I went to Mambo, the Modern Art Museum. Then I went to Museo Botero. So, and I also went to a couple of churches as well. So I was so hungry to sort of see different things again. So it's wonderful to be here.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So you were doing like touristy
Oh
things
yeah,
around.
yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
that's
Yeah,
great.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
great. Having
yeah,
your job enabled to do that.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
great. Thank you so much, Ken.
Thank you so much, Natalie.